Hi, in this video we'll have a look at a common Java interview question, producer consumer. How will you solve it? By using wait and notify. So here we have our producer consumer test, which has our main method. We have defined a lock, so this will be the lock object on which the producer and the consumer will try to take a lock to process the critical areas. We have a stack here of integers. This stack will be filled up by the producer and the consumer will consume the contents out of it. We have our producer class, which takes the stack and the lock. Similarly, we have our consumer class, which takes the stack and the lock. There are two threads, thread 1 and thread 2, named as producer and consumer. Our producer and consumer classes are runnable classes. Here we are starting the threads. So let's now look at the producer. Our producer class implements runnable and it has references to point at the stack and the lock we are passing from the main class. The produce method is the business logic here. It has a synchronized block which tries to take the lock on our lock object. Once inside, it checks if the stack size is equal to 10. If it is, we are assuming that the stack is full and it has to wait. So we are calling the wait method on the lock. Wait throws interrupted exception. So we are just catching it here and printing the stack trace. If the stack size is not equal to 10, we push a random variable on the stack and call the notify all on the lock to notify all other threads waiting on this lock. The run method has a while loop which runs continuously, calling our produce method. We are producing the state of the stack here. So that's our producer. Next, let's have a look at our consumer. Our consumer is runnable, has two references for the stack and the lock we are passing from the main method. The consume has the business logic. It synchronizes on the lock we are passing, and if the stack is empty, it waits, basically calls the wait method of the lock. Else, it consumes, that is pops the stack and notifies all other threads. Inside our run method, we have our while loop which runs continuously. I have given a small sleep here so that we can see the output in a sequential and orderly manner, and a consume method. Sleep throws our interrupted exception and I'm catching and just printing the stack trace here. So that's how you can code the producer consumer using wait and notify all. Let's run our program now and have a look at the output. So here the producer is producing and filling up the stack and the consumer is popping up the stack. Thanks for watching.